He crashed into her world. Now she'll kill anyone who tries to take him. The skies over Varos Prime were never calm. Constant storms twisted the atmosphere into silver whirlpools, lightning crawling like living serpents across the clouds. To most humans, it was an uninhabitable wasteland. To the Kareth, an ancient warrior race, it was home. Jace didn't mean to crash there. His ship had been caught in a magnetic storm while running a simple cargo job. He woke to find himself lying on black sand under a storm-lit sky, the taste of metal in his mouth and the sharp weight of alien eyes on him. The first thing he saw was her. Tall, silver-skinned, armored in plates that shimmered like moonlight, and holding a spear longer than he was tall. Her gaze was hard, assessing him the way a hunter judges a wounded animal. "You're not from here," she said in a voice that was both melodic and dangerous. Jace coughed, pushing himself up. "Yeah, well, I didn't exactly plan the trip." She didn't smile. "You are fragile. You will not last an hour without protection. And I'm guessing you're volunteering?" That was when she did smile, a razor-edge curve of lips. "I am Lyra, war leader of the Kareth. If you live, you are mine." He didn't know what that meant at the time. Days bled into weeks. Lyra brought him into her fortress city, a place carved from the bones of mountains, lit by the soft glow of crystal veins running through the stone. She taught him their language, fed him their fire-spiced food, and put a blade in his hand. At first, Jace thought she was only keeping him alive out of curiosity. But the more time they spent together, the more he noticed the way her eyes followed him when others came too close. The Kareth were not a tender people, yet she would shield him from storms with her own body, sit close to share warmth, and watch him with an intensity that made his pulse stumble. One night, as they sat by the fortress walls watching storms lash the horizon, he asked, "Why keep me here? Why not just send me back?" Her gaze didn't leave the sky. "Because you crashed into my world, and now you are part of it. Anyone who tries to take you from me will not live to see another dawn." Jace chuckled softly, half thinking she was joking, but the way her hand tightened on her spear told him otherwise. The first test of that promise came sooner than he expected. A human salvage crew, picking up the distressed beacon from his downed ship, arrived in orbit. They hailed the Kareth leaders, claiming they were there to retrieve their lost man. The Kareth Council, seeing no reason to provoke interstellar tension, agreed to release him. Lyra said nothing during the meeting, but her silence was sharp. That night, Jace found her in the training grounds, driving her spear through practice dummies with savage precision. "You don't want me to go," he said quietly. She turned, her silver eyes burning. "They will take you back to a life you did not choose. Here, you are under my shield. There you will be prey. Lyra, they're my people." Her steps were slow, deliberate, closing the distance between them until he could feel the heat radiating from her. "And now, so am I?" The next day, the salvage crew landed. Their leader, a smug, uniformed officer, strode into the fortress and extended a hand to Jace. "Time to go home, kid." Before Jace could answer, Lyra stepped between them. "He stays." The officer gave her a tight smile. "Not your call, lady. He's human. He's coming with us." Lyra's spear tip lifted, just enough to make the officer freeze. Her voice was a low growl. "He is mine. You may try to take him, but you will fail." The air turned heavy. The Kareth guards at her back shifted their weight, ready to move. Jace's heart pounded, half in fear, half in something he didn't dare name. "Lyra," he started. Her eyes didn't leave the officer. "Choose." It was the easiest choice he'd ever made. "I'm staying." The officer's face twisted. "You don't know what you're—" "Leave," Lyra said, stepping forward, the lightning from the storm outside catching on her armor. "Before I decide you are worth killing." They left, The fortress was quiet after that, though word spread quickly. The war leader had claimed the human as her own. It became dangerous for anyone to so much as touch him without her permission. Jace thought maybe the danger would fade with time. It didn't. Weeks later, mercenaries came, paid to drag him off-world. Lyra met them at the gates. The fight was brutal, a blur of silver and blood. She moved like the storm she grew up under, relentless, electric, unstoppable. By the time it was over, the black sand was littered with bodies. She returned to him, blood streaked across her cheek, and placed a hand on his chest. "No one takes you from me," she said, her voice quiet but fierce. This time, Jace didn't joke or argue. He just nodded, because deep down, the thought of leaving her felt like suffocating. Months later, he stood with her on the same wall where they had first spoken of belonging. The storms rolled over the horizon again, lightning dancing in the distance. "You know," he said, "most people would think you're a little intense." Her lips curved in that razor smile. "Most people do not survive in my world. And me?" Her arm slid around his shoulders, drawing him against her side. "You are mine, and I will kill anyone who forgets that." Somewhere deep in the fortress, a warning horn sounded. Another threat was coming. Lyra's grip tightened on her spear. Jace just sighed, a strange smile tugging at his lips. After all, he had crashed into her world, and he wasn't going anywhere.